So my name is Colin Lee. I am 16 years old. I was born in Greenwich, Connecticut, and have lived here my entire life. And this summer I played for the Korean National Lacrosse team, U19, and the tournament was in Vancouver. I was in first grade, I think, and my brother, he played lacrosse, not as competitively as me, but he tried it out for a little bit, and I was interested when I was pretty young. So I signed up where I just did my first lacrosse clinic in first grade, and I've loved it ever since and played ever since first grade. In Greenwich, there's definitely not many Asians. When I was in lower school, there was maybe 4 Asians, including me. Now there's only 3, and I'm the only Korean in my grade, maybe in the entire high school. So there was definitely a lack of connection with other Asians when growing up. So it was kind of hard to, I don't know, identify as Korean initially, but then because all our extended family lives in Los Angeles, actually, during our school breaks, my parents and my brother, we would all fly out to LA and stay there for a long period of time, sometimes the entire summer break, which is 3 months. So being around my family, my cousins, grandparents, all other family that are all Korean, that's where I really learned my Korean culture and got to identify with other Koreans. So my dad's business partner's assistant, he actually played on the adult team for the past 3 tournaments, and he actually played lacrosse for Cornell. So through him, his name's Scott Lee, he connected me to the head of the Korean National Lacrosse organization. And from there, we just exchanged emails, and I sent him my videotape kind of as a tryout initially. And then he invited me to fly out and actually play against Hong Kong in Korea. And that was back in April of this year. So I flew out in April, and it was kind of my official tryout. So then after that, they invited me back to play for the actual team for the actual tournament, which was this past August. There was 3 divisions in the tournament. There was like the top division with the USA, Canada, and the Iroquois Nation, and some other countries that are like the top of the top. And then there were 2 lower tier divisions with countries from all over the world. Like there was Mexico, Germany, Australia, and within our division, we were, I think, 3rd. And then in the total standings, we were placed 13th out of 16. The lower tier divisions are allowed to have kids up to 21, actually. So I will be able to play for the next youth tournament in 4 years, and also I'm hoping to make the adult tournament in 2 years. So I'll be 18, and it's an adult tournament, which will be kind of hard, just because they're all adults, 25, 26. But I'm hoping to make the team and be able to play with the adults. I've been playing midfield my entire life, ever since I started lacrosse in about first grade. So I played midfield for them, and also I played a little bit of attack. Just whatever they needed for me to play, I would just play for them. Playing for a country, playing for Korea, it was my first time playing for any country for any sort of event, and it was a pretty cool experience. Before every game, the national anthem would play, and even though I wasn't familiar with the Korean national anthem before, just hearing it while I was there, it was something special, and having Korea on my chest and on my helmet was something cool, even because I'm American, but having this new connection towards Korea was really something special. And then for the guys, they were all older than me. I was actually the youngest at the entire tournament. My birthday was just a few days before the cutoff. So I was kind of nervous going into it, seeing how they would accept me, but I think in Korean culture, all the older guys, they kind of take care of the younger kids. So right when I met them, they all took me in and kind of as a younger brother. So I felt really welcomed, and it felt seamless just getting to know the guys. After I flew out to Korea the first time in April, I then flew out to Korea a second time for a practice in Korea for about 3 days before we flew out to Vancouver as a team. So then while I was there, we would stay together as a team, sleep over as a team, eat as a team, and that bond and that time together really brought us closer together, and I've made lifelong friends with all those guys. So it was a really great experience. So it was kind of different playing with a bunch of Korean guys and, say, playing with my club team or my high school team, because first off, the language barrier was, of course, there. So it was hard initially, but the coaches really pushed us American guys to learn the basic Korean phrases that are used on the field. So after we learned them and felt comfortable with them, on the field communication was pretty smooth. And then off the field, they would speak to us in English, but amongst themselves, they would speak in Korean. So one aspect of me going there was kind of curious and wanting to learn Korean because I've never really formally taken a Korean class. I mean, I've taken Rosetta Stone maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but that's pretty much it. So now I'm really interested and curious in trying to learn the Korean language. I definitely liked the food. It's the Korean barbecue there was very good. And then also the friendship aspect of being with the guys together, just sharing the experience was really cool. I'm just really happy and honored that I was able to play for Korea and then through that experience make some lifelong friends in Korea and just getting to know my culture and where I come from better in a more unique sense of through lacrosse because lacrosse isn't a sport like, say, football or basketball where everyone plays or a lot of people play that sport. So when someone meets another person and say, oh, I play football, they have a connection, but it's not that deep because it's fairly common. But when I meet someone that plays lacrosse, I'm very interested because lacrosse is more of a specialty or niche sport. It's not as popular. So I'm very interested in how that person got into lacrosse. And then we have a connection there. And also with the team, they also are Korean too. So that's just, we all had a crazy bond together and connections. Through this experience, I've made lifelong friends with people who live in Korea, and it's something pretty cool.